Hello, viewers. Today is Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. I'm here to share my thoughts and opinions on the US presidential elections 2024. Today, I would like to talk about the vice presidential debate that happened yesterday between JD Vance and Tim Waltz. And as some of you might have seen my episode from yesterday, where I talked about what are the possible issues that they would cover. They pretty much followed those line of questioning on those issues that I had listed yesterday. But overall, if you look at the debate, I think the moderators did slightly better than what the moderators did in the presidential debate. But still, I felt like they fell short in asking them specific questions and pin them down on a specific policy proposal and try to get more information on each one of those issues. So let's take, for instance, the issue on immigration. The moderators try to do a good job about asking JD Vance on the situation in Springfield, Ohio, where the Asian immigrants are actually legal. To that, he said that he wanted to correct the moderators or fact check the moderators right there by saying that they are not legal because they did file an application for asylum, and then through that application they became legal. But I would have thought that the moderators would have jumped in to say that that is a part of the process. That is part of the US immigration law. The Congress has given various vehicles for people to get their papers to become legal. And one of them is basically getting a job and getting your legal status. The other one is through family-based visa categories. And then there are also situations where you can apply for asylum and get the once your asylum papers are approved, you are legal. So that is also a part of the process to become legal. So somehow that those people from Haiti who had applied for asylum and become legal, according to JD Vance, if I sense his true meaning, or if I sense his thinking, he's saying that people who apply for asylum and those kind of people who come from Haiti, even if they become legal, they should be considered as illegal. How is that rational, right? If you look at it that way, then you can pinpoint every one of those every one of those visa categories through which people get their papers. For instance, when Donald Trump's forefathers came, they also went through some paperwork, and then only they became legal. So there are some people during that time who could have said that these people just applied through some paperwork and then they have become legal. They could have complained then too. So where are we headed? If it's a slippery slope. So I think I would have thought that the moderators could have done a better job of trying to go back to that issue and tell them that they are legal because they have gone through the formal process of getting asylum. So I think that's very, very important to give some kind of an assurance to the people over there in Springfield, Ohio. So I think that's a missed opportunity from my side. But nevertheless, that was not the only issue where I felt that moderators could have quizzed them more. The other issue is basically with respect to the January 6th insurrection and whether in January 2020, whether there was a peaceful transfer of power to Joe Biden. And JD Vance said that, we didn't have any issues and there was a peaceful transfer of power in 2020. And I don't know what he means by peaceful transfer of power. On January 6th, we had these mob attacking the Capitol. They were also looking for Mike Pence and Nancy Pelosi. They went inside the Capitol. They basically destroyed some of the Capitol building as well as some of the offices of those congressional representatives. And they went in there to basically get Mike Pence and Nancy Pelosi. And how do you then call this as a peaceful transfer of power? And then after that, on January 20th, Donald Trump did not attend the swearing in of Joe Biden. That's basically the tradition for so many years. The last time an outgoing president did not attend the swearing in was almost 150 years ago. I think it was when Robert Ulysses won and Andrew Jackson did not go. I think that was the last time. That was almost like 150 years ago. So he did not even show up. Compare that with what happened in 2000. 2000 was the closest election in the recent history, in the last 50, 70 years. And Al Gore won the popular vote. He lost the state of Florida by just 530 odd votes. He had every reason to say that he should have been the president. If all the votes were counted in Florida, he had a chance to become president. That's what he could have, that line of thinking he could have very easily used and not be there at the inauguration of George W. Bush. But that didn't happen. He went there. He went there to say that, this should be, at least in terms of the public mind, that I am fully supportive of this transition from this government to the new government. And that's very, very important. That shows his commitment to public service. But contrast that with what Donald Trump did in 2020. And then for JD Vance to stand there and say that, there was a peaceful transfer of power in 2020, I think it was a joke. And then on the other side, if Tim Waltz has asked a very specific question as to why did he mention that he was in China during the Tiananmen Square incident, he did not give a straight answer. He was talking about how he went with his school team to China multiple times, how he has gone there multiple times to China and Hong Kong. But I would have thought that moderators should have pressed him along to say that all this is true, but you were not there during that particular time. Why don't you come out today and admit that you were not there? And I don't know why even Tim Waltz did not admit that he made a mistake. I mean, it's so there are several missed opportunities like that. I felt like the moderators could have done a better job at trying to pin them down. And I think one of the reasons why these moderators are very militant is due to the fact that they have fixed time slots for each issues, like, immigration, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, healthcare, 10 minutes, environment, 10 minutes, or, reproductive rights, 20 minutes, and immigration, 20 minutes. I think it doesn't make sense. I mean, the whole debate is meant for the public to watch and gather as much information as they can before they can go out and vote. So that being the case, you cannot box an issue with some time limit. And I would have preferred that if they had had an open-ended debate with an upper limit of, say, 4 hours or so that they can, if they talk about the economy, they can talk about the economy till they get their final answers. And talking about economy, that's another area where I thought that both candidates did not do well. They did not give a specific answer as to exactly how they're going to pay for their proposals. In fact, the moderators did a good job to actually tell them that the Kamala Harris proposal is going to cost $1.3 trillion more. And then they asked JD Vance that Donald Trump's policy proposals is going to cost almost $5 trillion more. They asked the specific questions and asked them how they are going to get that revenue for those policies and those proposals. But neither one of them answered that question at all. And that was very disappointing. I think they should have spent more time on that to pin them down on this. Again, because of time boxing an issue to a particular time limit, these people can get away with it. They can just talk about the snippets from their campaign speech and their other statements that they normally give to the media, and then they can repeat that over and over again because they have only 2 minutes to talk about an issue and then 2 minutes of a rebuttal or something like that. So I think it doesn't serve the purpose that the debates are intended to serve. And I personally felt that there were several missed opportunities, even in on the issue of abortion. It looked as though that I saw two different individuals. On the one hand, we saw JD Vance as suddenly transformed into a very, very, very moderate Republican. And then on the other hand, here you saw Tim Waltz was not the kind of person that he portrayed yesterday. When progressives cheered when he was chosen, everybody thought that he's a progressive candidate, a progressive governor. But yesterday, when you showed up, you looked like a moderate Democrat from a hardcore red district. So both of them were trying to somehow talk to the independent voters or people who are not on either side of the either extreme side of the equation, and they were trying to sound very moderate, very for a lack of a better word, very decent and very palatable candidate for the middle America. But the casualty is actually the truth, because we do not know the true side of both the candidates, and also what are the true intentions once they get into power. So in terms of this debate, I would say that when it comes to the performance of each candidates, I would say both of them did not pass my test, and it's more or less a draw. And that is what most of the independent pundits are talking about. This particular debate did not serve any useful purpose. They might have as well gone to some other battleground state and campaigned instead of wasting time in this debate. So I feel like this is not going to move the needle one way or the other. We are still in a very, very tight election on the battleground states, and this debate did not help either candidates or either parties. So that's the nature of business, I guess. At least from next time onwards, if the Center for Presidential Debate, Commission on Presidential Debates comes with a better alternative than these kind of 90 minutes or 60 minutes debates, it will not serve any useful purpose. I hope that the CPD will look at it and come up with some more robust format for these kind of debates. That's my wish. That's it for me today. I'll come back to you with another program tomorrow. Till then, take care.